Hi, my name is Bryce. Welcome back to VHS Play, where we are playing The Legend of Dragoon and recording it all on VHS. Last time, the old guy died, and also Moot failed, and also the Great Kraken, the last guardian of the psychedelic bomb, and Moot in the Signet Sphere. Everything failed because apparently after 10,000 years, what's-his-face, learned how to magic, or somehow gained magic powers. So, hooray, good job, Zeke. You win this round. And I just realized, we have to walk out of here. This game. Oh, and, okay, we have to walk out of here. And also, I spent all of our magic, against the Great Kraken boss, because that's an entirely reasonable thing to do. Oh, good. More items. Guess what? We don't have room for anything in my inventory. Because the psychedelic bomb is, in fact, an item that has to live in my inventory. And does, in fact, have one use. One singular use. So that's what you want. This game, and it's like, walk all the way down to the bottom of a dungeon, do a thing, and then walk all the way back out. It sucks. No two ways about it. It's just a bad time. Oh, I should note that I'm recording at night again, which, I keep saying I probably shouldn't do. Because usually I'm grumpier at night. Like, really, the worst part of this is, like, I was sitting down and it's like, okay, yeah, let's actually, getting psyched up to play Legend of Dragoon. It's like, okay, let's do this. Let's continue this silly game. And then I remembered everything of like, the... just all of it. The, hey, wait a minute. Where am I, like... What recently happened? Where am I? What am I doing? Oh, right. Oh, right, we're just leaving this dungeon. That's what we're doing.
Die. Demons dance.
To top things off, I managed to get an eyelash in my eye right as I started recording, so hey, fun times. So, yeah, sorry. Why am I apologizing at this point? Like, I am so deep into this game and have complained so much that I think anybody that, like, really loves this game probably doesn't want to hear me talk about it anymore. But, well, hey, things are happening, so woohoo, maybe it's not just a straight up walk all the way back out. Buckle, you're...
Miranda, you're still annoying, Look. Are other people safe, Look?
Don't say anything.
Savan died. Buckle and other creatures cannot live without Savan, Look.
Good. Can't we do something for you? Can't you be saved with the Dragoon's power? Answer me.
Be quiet, Look. Good night, Look.
Are you playing dead again? Give me a break.
We can meet again soon, Hook. Closing my eyes. And soon, Hook.
I'm going to stand by my first answer of good. Man, sure has been a while since I looked at any of these teleports.
Dirt decal's time is stopping, Cal. I cannot roll anymore, Cal. But before that, you must see, Pino.
Dad, what are you doing? The moon mirror is broken?
Because the signet sphere of Aglis was destroyed, he doesn't need it anymore. You know? Zieg is in the lost city Xenobatos, Pino. Go hurry, Pino.
But how can we go?
We connected the teleport device, Cal. Please keep rolling for decal, Cal.
He's dead. He opened our road with his last power. We won't waste your death.
Ding dong, the creatures are dead.
Sorry, they just really like. How much of them annoying me was that I'm actually like reading out their lines? I'm thinking about that now. Just like if I was just reading their lines and playing casually and like not recording lines and doing dumb voices and stuff, would they still? Yes, they would have annoyed me. Yeah, like that's the answer I'm landing on.
Die. Demon stance.
I just met them. I've known these creatures for 5 minutes, and if anything happens to them, good. Like that's where I'm at with like giving them a really annoying like vocal, quote unquote, vocal tick was. That is definitely more annoying that I'm actually like reading things out and actually having to say these words and go through the motions of like actually trying to figure out, did I actually hit that button? Did I come here? I don't know where I'm at. Hooray.
Ruff has been here forever, Ruff. Ruff only knows views and sounds in here, Ruff. Ruff wanted to go outside at least once, Ruff.
Don't worry. Now you can go out.
Okay, Ruff. It's rough, Ruff.
These babies are dead too. So their death won't be in vain. We have to move on.
That's true. These babies completed their own duty. We have to as well.
Ruff gets a slight pass. The buildup of it's rough into like dying words actually like that actually plays out well. I just wanted to go outside once. That makes it a little bit like that one hits a little harder.
Die. Demon
Still mostly a nuisance. Like Again, a lot of that comes down to just like I assigned dumb voices to them because they were annoying me and their speech patterns were weird. I'll give Ruff a pass. Buckle can buck off. Har har. Basically, like, Ruff was okay. Having 12 of these little critters running around doing dumb voice tics, that was too much. Is this actually the way out? Nope.
Die. Demon stance.
Trying to decide if I want to deal with the Stardust everything. That's going to be just a huge nuisance. If I do want to do anything with Stardust, then I really need to do that off camera, because that's going to just be like a massive investment of time on my part because of the PS3 emulation stuff that it does for PS1 games, and their discs, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to work for Legend of Dragoon, which means that if ever I go into a city, I need to make sure I have the right disc in, so that I can walk into that city and not get stuck into a please insert disc screen. And that's a lot of changing disc and getting back up and back, and, you know, sitting up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, standing up, moving things, and otherwise just being annoyed. And I'm not sure if I do not know if Stardust was permanently missable or not.
Demon stance.
So it could be I go through and I get to like 48 Stardust, and it turns out the last two were like you better have gotten them when you came through here, because otherwise there's no Stardust anymore. It's just gone. When I was like during that brief glance at a walkthrough and like seeing Stardust, it's just like I did do a little like check to see if, hey, what if I did want to do this now that I know that it blocks, you know, Super Boss end quest thing. And I didn't, like, none of them said specifically, nope, won't work. But they did have, like, a few marks that were just like, this is easily missable. Does that mean missable forever, or just like this one's hard to find, or like whatever? So I don't know. I don't know if I can even do Stardust. I don't even know if I want to do Stardust. I'm tired of this game, frankly, at this point. I'm mostly tired of listening to myself talk about this game because I don't have a lot of nice things to say. The visuals have been on point. Like the visuals have been on point. That stuff has been, for the most part, interesting. I'm tired of watching the same attacks play out. I'm like the attack animations have gotten real dang old. attack animations, spell animations, like that stuff, I'm pretty over it. Whenever I get to a new boss, it's always just like, this attack looks neat. How screwed am I going to be? Plus, like, the whole aspect of, like, Rose does more damage in regular form than she does as a Dragoon. That feels really wrong. It does not feel correct or right or good. We can't... What? We can't go because of the wall of water. Okay, was that door actually open, or do I need to interact with it? This must be the door to the teleport device Decal was talking about. I wonder if the localizers were expecting you to say Decal or Decal, because apparently it's a Canadian pronunciation of... Decal is a Canadian pronunciation of Decal, and I think it sounds weird, but also, like, that, you know, I grew up very much not hearing that, so when I heard it the first time, it's like, that's just incorrect, but as it turns out, no, it is a weird dialect, regional thing. Yes. Much like Steam Tams. It looks like the one in my forest. This can take us to Xenobatos instantly. It's completely different. Wingley's had such astonishing magic power, moving between cities instantly like this. Yeah, it's astonishing, alright, but I cannot accept life being generated by magic. Me neither. It's too depressing to be born to do one thing. The Virage embryo, the god of destruction, was born for destruction only. Its existence might have the same sorrow. Then let's try to make it feel better. By making sure it'll never be born. We gotta protect the next Signet Sphere. Let's go to the Lost City Xenobatos. What else am I going to do? I mean, sure, okay, fine. I guess I could quit and go back out to somewhere else. Alright, that transition's actually a little neat. So this is the Lost City Xenobatos. It is the city where the legislation and administration of the world with the ancient Wingleys was carried out. It's an austere place. Seems like a place Albert would love. Yes. Switching from Herschel to Albert always gets caught in the middle somewhere. Yes, I have a great interest in the way in which they manage their nations. However, I don't think I can learn anything from such a mess. It fell more than 10,000 years ago. Warning, 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 warning. Guard Lapto 11. Warning, Xenobatos is under martial law. Leave the city at once. Good for you, Albert. It seems that Xenobatos is still alive. Warning, invaded by humans. Take shelter in Kadesa promptly. Warning, 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 warning. However, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be functioning. Are those generated by magic too? It seems like it. But it's different from Buckle. There's no heart in it. It is just like Sieg now. Hey, guys. There's something coming this way.
A giant stingray.
Are you a transportation or are you a boss? What's this?
I am Kulan. I'll be your wings.
Savan was talking about it. Excuse me, Rose is killing my voice today for whatever reason. Savan was talking about it in his last moments. Wings that can fly the skies will be given. It was about you. Rose, I already forgot what voice I used for this guy. Crap. What does a flying stingray sound like? I don't know why, but the first thing I went towards was Rose and the people who are. Just that stupid gaudy voice.
Rose and the people who are carrying the world. Although Savan couldn't accomplish his objectives, he fulfilled his role at the expense of his life. Now everything is on you.
I know. I will stop my father. Fulfill Savan's will.
I'll be here waiting for you whenever you would like to go back to the world. I'll be your wings.
Cool. So is this our...
Would you like to have wings?
Yes. I guess I should have explored first, but... presumably we can come back here. Oh my goodness, this is kind of the best. We can actually just, like, go to towns directly. What does Square do? I'm also kind of terrified at this point because, whatever city I click on, better be on this disc. Okay, so hit Square. What did that do? Did that actually, like, transport me? It was cancel. Okay. Alright, we're gonna take a quick look around. Alright. And now we're leaving. Okay, so I do note that the little island nation Rouge was is not over here. Does that mean that if ever... No, the wall of water is up, so I can't, like, go back through here. If I go back to... Let's... Will the ship be there? Okay, so that is now just a button. Cool. And at the same time, problematic. This does kind of turn into the somewhat of the last hurrah, it seems, of is if I continue forward, am I going to hit the point of no return? Because, like, again, with my, like, peeking ahead in a walkthrough thing, there was something that mentioned, like, your wing, or like body block until you get your wings. Now we have wings, and we can finally do the thing that I've wanted to do the entire game. And this is so Dark Souls. Something people have complained about with Dark Souls is that Dark Souls 1 in particular is that you don't get the ability to teleport immediately. Teleporting is one of those things that you get pretty late in the game, and you can only teleport to, like, major locations. That looks awfully familiar to this, quite frankly. It is cute that he just kind of turns. And this is also, like, a good way for them to handle the problem of, you can't, like, this handles the problems of loading stuff. And like I've pointed out before, it's just like I wasn't sure if we were ever going to get if we would ever actually get flying, because like everything is tied to these like very strict paths, and like we only seem to load in to one square chunk of the world at a time. Okay, so they do have marked Law City, what does that say? Law Capitals in Abados. They do have that marked on the map. Anyway, like, that's what this travel system is reminding me of, frankly. That suddenly we have access to all of the various key locations, and we can take ourselves.
We brought a mistake into the world. The city Ulara exists to correct it.
That's just the edge of the teleport. Looked like a cat or a dog or something. Anyway, like that's what this flying system feels like now. I also know it's nighttime here, and I don't know if we have any control over that or not.
Standing in the darkness of the night, you feel a sense that you've lost a sense of existence. Have you had this kind of experience?
Maybe you can liberate Rose from the spell of eternal life.
Is that something she wants? I'm really torn, because like this is this would be a really short episode, but at the same time I did go pretty long last time. Hey, I found Stardust.
Neat.
Okay, so there is this. These seem to be the quite possibly best Greaves. Maybe. Now, what do your boots even do? 20 points of agility. That's what it does. That is hard to argue against. What do your Stardust boots do? So, the Stardust boots have better, was it regular defense? I'm also just like not sure of like how How much should I... How much should I equip the rest of the party? I don't know how much these four are actually going to come into play.
The spell of eternity indeed creates an immortal body, but it also corrodes the heart. During the time of the Dragon campaign, Winglies were divided into two camps. Each followed one leader, blah, blah, blah. We've probably talked about all this before.
As long as you're in the city, blah, blah. Immortality is a thing. Cool. There was not actually an inn in this town, was there? I don't think there was. That's unfortunate. That's what I was here for, actually, was to go have a snooze in the inn. Okay, so we are at the point that I need to decide whether or not I'm doing any backtracking nonsense, and I don't even know if I can gather all of the Stardust, let alone if I want to. On one hand, I am like, oh boy, this game. But also, it's like, late game, in-game stuff. Ooh, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Maybe there's something neat there. Maybe, like, fighting Super Boss is going to be a fun time. It probably won't be. But, you know, just maybe. So the question becomes, do I want to go back through the world and try to gather all the Stardust? And if I do that, I am definitely doing it off camera. I'm kind of afraid to go to any other town to find an inn because I don't know if it's going to load me into the town or if the town's going to turn into a loading screen and I'm just going to get stuck there. We've already had an episode of please insert disc, so let's not do that again. So I guess we're going to call this one a short episode. I do appreciate the cool. We have a flying air stingray thing. That's kind of like that is legitimately pretty neat. We have a Dark Souls style teleportation system now that lets me move around the entirety of this world that has been an absolute pain in the butt to maneuver around because it's been, if I want to go anywhere, I have to, like, what was it, just going from here to Flets. It was have to go through the city, take the other teleporter out to the right hand side of the city, go into the secret pass, which drops us out in the Valley of Gigantos? That's what it was? Yeah, the Valley of Gigantos. And then, which, remembering the Valley of Gigantos does actually have a healing thing, so maybe it would be worthwhile to just do that. Let's do that while I ramble. We're going to go out the right side of here and go to the Valley of Gigantos and hit the healing point thing that's right next to that exit. But then from there we have to leave the Valley of Gigantos, go further right on the map, go through the Valley of Gravity nonsense. Then from there continue rightward, go to the desert. I don't remember what it's called, but that desert that we've crossed through like 16 times. And then from there, we can finally get to... I've forgotten the name of the town. The town what we want to go to. You know what? While we're here... There is actually a piece of Stardust that is flagged under the really, really easy to miss category. And it's like, I think somewhere in this room around where the... around where the statue stuff is. You're still only getting 30 points for that, dude. Jeez. And you still can't kill anything in one shot because you don't have additions. Oh, this game is a game. But overall, like, having this, our flying machine, like, that's always the thing with JRPGs. Like, it's a long trope of, like, JRPG, like, travel, and, like, that's always the thing, is, like, its methods of traversal are always, like, the most fun rewards. And they're always like the most fun things in video games is getting like a fun way to traverse. And I like that is something that makes there it is. That is something that makes like the Lord Vessel in Dark Souls like super important and neat and fun and great and cool. It is something that's entirely lost in like all future entries in the Soulsborne series because you don't have that limitation anymore. You start the game with teleportation, and that changes things. But like getting teleportation as an ability is extremely freeing. It is extremely powerful, and like some people will say that, you know, there's all this backtracking, etc., etc. And it sucks that you don't get the Lord Vessel until then, and in subsequent plays, yeah, it can get kind of old having to like actually go places and actually walk there. But also, like, this is the thing, is that because the Dark Souls, I'm talking about Dark Souls instead of this game. Surprise. But ultimately, like, because of the Lord Vessel being a late game thing, hey, that was a lot of damage. That was, oh boy, 2,200, like almost 2,300 damage. Anyway, but like that backtracking traversal stuff and like having to actually walk everywhere, the energy girdle. Okay. Neat, I guess. That seems like a rare enemy drop, so you can use an energy girdle. More SP. And only he can use the energy girdle. Cool. So, Hashel. That's honestly not that much. Avoids 3 nuisance effects. Gain more SP. I'll take the avoiding effects. Anyway, like the whole traversal thing and like having to walk everywhere like is taken into account for Dark Souls earlier game, with like a lot of those, like the stuff that, you know, Souls is well known for in terms of like the, hey, you can, like, you have all of these routes and ways that you unlock and shortcuts and ways that you can easily traverse through the world without having to go through the original path that goes way over here and way up here and way over there and then way back to where you started, and then it's just an elevator back down. I like Dark Souls. I'm sorry, I will talk about it sometimes because there's a lot of like design points that I can point to directly. So again, like, the point is, traversal's fun. I really, 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 really like this as a traversal thing. Trying to decide how I feel about it coming in so late in the game. Because it does feel like we are ramping rapidly up to the point of no return. And that's why I'm going to cut this here. Here being I've been rambling for at least 12 minutes. But like, we can actually like get around and go places, and I can go to all of these cities that I keep talking about of like, maybe I should go back and try to find all that dang Stardust. And that's now doable. Presumably. Assuming I can get back to Rouge. But yeah, like, boiling traversal down into a Dark Souls style, warp to important locations and then walk the rest of the way from there, I dig it. I'm okay with that. Like, there's a few locations that are going to be just kind of a, we would still have to actually walk there, I guess, but I no longer have to do the go through the Home of Giganto, go through the Valley of Gravity, go through the other desert valley, and then get to Fletz. I can just go to Fletz, and I can just go to Lohan. The only problem is I still have to change discs, so that's a concern. And that makes me, like, I need to do some soul searching between this episode and starting recording for the next one of how much do I want to do other things in this game versus just plow forward, finish it off, move on to something that hopefully I won't complain about incessantly for, I don't know what the playtime counter was up to, but it's at least 50 hours at this point. I know we're pushing on towards episode 60, which means it's like, it's gonna be close to 60 hours of me whining about this game the entire time. Is like, I have valid criticisms, but it's so much of what I've talked about, and I'm not happy with that. And a part of me wants to dig into this game because it's a JRPG. I like JRPGs. There are flaws. There are numerous flaws. This game still is this game. But also, we're in the end game nonsense time. I'm curious what nonsense is there. And the question I need to answer is, how morbid is that curiosity? So that's for me to figure out, and you'll find out next time what I decided, because I need to figure that out, and that's all there is to it. At the very least, we should go back to... Oh, I don't remember what the name of the place was, and we can't fast travel there, so I can not even point at it on the map, but it was basically like, start here, go west into Ice Place, and then from Ice Times, there was like the big old city where we found out, oh, Zeeg is actually the big bad. That place where Ghost Dragoon lady said, yo, Rose, fight some ghosts or something. So at the very least we should do that. The question becomes, how much do I want to do other things? So I will toil on that in my own time and shut up and stop rambling, because boy howdy, I sure can pad out the end of an episode when I say maybe I should just stop. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Have yourself a lovely evening.